This artwork has been supplied to me free of charge from Fanhome.com. Please pop along to their website and see all of the other build-up artworks that they have to offer, as well as other collections of collectible things. I would like to thank Fanhome for providing me with the artwork so I can produce these videos for your enjoyment and educational needs. If you'd like to build one of your own, pop along to fanhome.com. They're available in many countries worldwide. If you do want to build one, leave a note in the comments to let me know how you're getting on. So thank you once more to Fanhome for providing me with this kit. I hope you enjoy the build. Hello, I'm Chris, this is Growth Models. Welcome to issue 51 of building Kitt from Knight Rider. Let's have a look through the magazine and then we'll get on with the building. I think the building is self-contained on this one. We're looking at Mouth of the Snake Part 2. Michael Kitt and the new ally, David Dalton. I don't remember that one at all. I know there were a few two-part series episodes that bigger stories than they could tell in one bit, but there we go. Well, about that, you can read it at your own leisure if you like. I wrote him directly. Will never survive a direct hit, says Kitt. I thought he was invulnerable, but it turns out a lot of the time that would make him far too important and too difficult to threaten. So he's not actually as invulnerable as we were led to believe in the pilot episode. In this episode, we are going to be building the upper part of the transmission housing and the center console. The center console, obviously, the bit in the middle. Although I'm not sure it's in the center because the screens certainly aren't in the center on the dashboard. Yeah, we'll get that built. It won't take very long. I've already unplugged the wire. You can see it here. I've unplugged the V cable because we need to get that fitted into the center console. But yep, we'll get to do that after we looked at the second part of David Dalton and the Code of Vengeance. Shows all the best characteristics of a lone vigilante. Spin-off. Yeah, again, the spin-off they mentioned last time, I still haven't found anything about it. Code of Vengeance. Interesting, but there we go. So that's that. The Code of Vengeance was also broadcast as a TV movie. That's why it's a two-part thing, wasn't it? There's a pilot and 4 episodes, so there wasn't very many of them. So there we go. That's why I didn't find a series about it, because there's only a very, very short series. So let's clear the bench and we'll get this center console built. So the parts supplied in this issue and a couple from the previous issue that we haven't done anything with as yet. We are first of all going to be installing this onto that. That's the top, so it goes on that way round. Do need to do something with that to paint that up a little bit, but I'll worry about that once it's assembled. With some BP screws. There we go, a couple of those. Get this installed onto there. Strange, some of these have got some, detail painting on them, and some of them haven't. Not much of this is obviously going to be very visible anyway, especially with, the doors shut and everything. But I will be doing a little bit of modifications and updates to this, just to make it my own and bring it to a slightly higher level of detail and look. It's not bad, but it could be better. I mean, especially when you get parts like this that are molded with buttons and things, but just not any detail on them. Nice detail on the gear stick, but yeah. Talking about the gear stick, we're going to install that now. It has a bayonet on it, so it'll only go one way round. And that way round is like that. Pushes in place in there. That'll do the job. Then we need to assemble this center console. So we've got that bit goes in that way around. Then we've got the little bit with the light on it. This is the bit that's going to light up, isn't it? And then that will go onto the back. That way around like that. Yeah, little panel that's got some little lights on it in there. All good. It just says to fit it into there. Done. Then we're not doing anything with that. I'll put that side upside down so it's not going to get out of the way. This is the handbrake. Again, just going to go in place. In there. No, not in there. I go sideways into the. It just sort of clips. Doesn't even clip because there's something going to go over the top of that. So we've got the handbrake in place on there. I need to turn the page so I can see what's happening next. which is another BP screw. Yeah. Which is going to go through that hole at the front there after this has gone in place. So that's going in there. Oh, that's where the light's going to come through from the inside. So that's why that's that way around. And that's going to hold that in place so it can still be used. That's quite cool. So screw through that hole. I would expect that hole there is going to be for the bulb to illuminate that. That is not held in place the right way around. I might have put that in upside down. No, it can't be upside down because, wait, something's not right there though. Let's have a look. Take that back out. Oh, it's got to be across the top. Why is it falling into the thing? So I've got that bit the wrong way around. Try that again. Maybe that needs to go that way round. Yeah, I've got the clear bit the wrong way around. So the edge of it wasn't actually holding in place against the edge of that. There we go. That's better. So now let's get that there. I know the gear stick's falling out. Get that in gently in place. While stopping all of this from falling all over the place. Hopefully. Well, that was the plan. There we go. Then we can get the screw back in the back there. Always check your orientation. Difficult to tell on some of these pictures. The pictures are a little bit dark and not always easy to see the detail, especially as to where screws go quite often on these. Now I've put that in, but that wasn't fully in. So I shall loosen that off again. Try that one more time. That in, hopefully into the right place. Got to be there, isn't it? It is there. It must have just slipped out before I tightened it up. There we go. Yeah, that's there, and it actually holds, you know, the handbrake on or off, depending on what you're after. So we'll be using that again in a minute, but first of all, we've got to fit this to that with HP screws, a little hinge that's supplied. HP will be these little ones here. There's 2 of those at the moment. There's quite a few, so I'm sure the other 2 will be used on the other side of this. These will just hold the hinge to the lid of the center console compartment. Go get that in and started, and then get the other one in before you tighten the first one up to make sure it lines up properly. Come on, get it lined up properly. There we go. That is that. Then we can get these both tightened down. Nice, and the hinge obviously operates, and it operates on that in there. So these go in obviously from this side as well, and more HP screws for that. You'll be using 2 more of them. Not 3 though. I'll put one back. Oh, I'll put one back eventually. There it goes. That's it back. So this then goes in there. One there, that one over there. I do like this sort of thing. I like it better when parts all sort of come together instead of having lots of separate parts, but it's always nice to have a little self-contained episode now and again. So you can get things built up without having to worry about, you know, moving around the entirety of the car, which is a little bit unwieldy. So there we have that. I didn't notice that that was at an angle, but it is, and it should be. So there we go. His little glove compartment thing. Then we can use the bulb that I have previously supplied. Retrieve the transmission housing, this whole bottom bit. Bulb through there. There, isn't it? This is another one where I was saying about it not being terribly clear where it's going. But that's the bit that lines up with there, so I'm sure it's going to be there. Then let's get that in there. There, no, it must be that one. Must not be that hole, because that doesn't line up with where I thought it lined up with. That out gently. Or again, we use this hole here. We'll line up with that there. There we go. Then that will go together, and that will neatly pop out the bottom there without having to worry about it. So now, interestingly, that's the parking brake, the handbrake. It's right a long way away from the driver. On my car, it's actually there as well, but I sit over this side, being that I'm in the UK. So that's quite interesting. They're going together with some DP screws. I thought there'd be some more screws used because they supplied them. A couple of those screws with the built-in washers. And hold this in place through one at the front and one at the back. Going for these holes there, I think. See if that lines up with something on the other side. Oh, it might not. Is that one? Is that one indeed? So let's try the one at the back. That might go in a little bit easier. In there. That one's going in. So now let's get the top one in and make sure it tightens down properly. Now everything else is lined up. But I don't know why it wasn't before. Hold up. Then we will be sorted. So there we have that with the light, which is obviously going to pass through to the rear, I think, with the... Can't remember where all the lights go. I think it's in the back, isn't it? That's where the board is. Yeah, because the engine's all in the front. So we've got the gear stick that doesn't move, the handbrake that does, and the light that will illuminate when this gets plugged back in again. The last thing we've got to do is put these bits together. The other bits for the I say handbrake, but don't mean handbrake. I mean seatbelt. They go on there. They are different, M and K. So why are they different? These are obviously slightly shaped by the looks of things. It's got an L on it. Got an R on it. So yeah, they label them, even the tiny little bits. So that's going to go in there like that with an IP screw holding that in place, and the same on the other one. So let's get 2 IP screws out. There we go. Finish with those for now. That in there. Do the job. That's where your seatbelt gets plugged in. Lined up properly and tightened up. Good. And then the same on the other side. That goes in there. Around. Try and get that tightened up. And that is the end of this episode, this issue. We are built. We've got some bits which we can still see the L and the R on, so we know which one's which for those. We've got that all built up and nicely assembled, and we've got a little storage compartment as well. I like that quite a lot. That's nice. So I shall put the screws away for later. I shall prepare this and see what we're going to be doing next time. So thank you for watching. Stay safe. I'll see you next time for more. Bye bye for now.